So my name is Adam Bennett. I'm the co-founder and CEO for SureStack. The genesis for SureStack has really come from my experience and the gaps that I've seen in tools over the years, and it's in programs as well as partners' experience as well in security engineering. What we're doing is we are combining our years of human expertise and knowledge and standards like CIS and benchmarks and others um, with the power of generative AI to make sure that your security stack or your suite of security tools, whether that's firewalls or endpoints or single sign-on or any number of things, to make sure that that is configured optimally at all times. And to make sure you don't have any vulnerabilities in those tools or misconfigurations, which could actually, ironically, cause you to have an incident when you're actually just trying to protect your network. Um, the the solution is using privately managed and hosted large language models, so you don't have to worry about having a breach of your security information as a result of this. We're really solving this issue of configuration assurance. And that is, making sure that we don't have misconfiguration like a firewall misconfiguration or an endpoint configuration that could cause a breach or an incident. And making sure that we're getting the ROI, the best return on investment we can from every dollar we spend on cybersecurity. Especially when, talking about a lot of efficiencies these days, however you feel about that, it's a real thing. Um, and making sure that you get the most from your team and from your suite of security tools or your stack of security tools. Yeah, so right now, we're a new platform. So for our first version, we have 5 integrations. So that's SonicWall, so that's firewalls, Palo Alto firewalls, FortiGate firewalls, CrowdStrike, so that's an advanced endpoint solution, and Trellix, formerly known as McAfee. And we are actively working on a number of additional integrations, and we have some active pilots going on right now. So um, we're going to add to those based on those priorities. Also, we're going to have ticketing systems. So if your analyst or your engineers in there, they see a problem, they want to assign it to someone to fix it, they can just through that integration fire off a ticket. We have an AI cybersecurity assistant called Stack Chat. And what that's basically, think of it like, it looks like some other well-known AI platforms, except it's all private and it has information specific to your security stack. And so if you have a new person, you want them to learn, that you want them to get up to speed quicker, they can just through regular language interact with us. They can ask questions, troubleshoot something, or if they need to fix something that the platform identifies, you can pivot right to that, and it tells you right away how to do that. I could spend all day talking about this, but I think some of the key ones that we're seeing, one, you know, whenever so CISOs and other security professionals are looking very closely now at AI platforms and in the security and privacy of those systems and of the data. I think when a few years ago, there was just so much hype and so much rush to adopt these solutions that there have been some major breaches and issues, both internally and externally. So I think that people are paying a lot more attention now. So companies that are using generative AI, they have to be um, very careful with their security and privacy and transparent with their policies. And then I'd say another one, and this is really, I'd say, transcends the size of the organization. We see this more as an issue on the smaller market, but even in larger organizations, it can be an issue too. And that is, people are using generative AI solutions a lot. So there's a lack of visibility into what information is going into that. And does that do you have a policy on Gen AI? Is it being enforced? Do you have any visibility into what your people are doing? I'll give an example of Microsoft Copilot, for example. You got a lot of data in that tenant, and OneDrive and SharePoint and Teams and all those things. What we see a lot is, SharePoint, for example, or Teams. It's kind of like spaghetti, right? So these things have been out there for sometimes years, and there's not a good handle a lot of times on who has access to what. The problem is if you just turn on Copilot, for example, um, you know, people may be able to interact with that data in ways that they didn't before, and it might be easier for them to discover an issue that, hey, I have access to something that I shouldn't. There was the famous, you know, employee asking what the CEO's salary was, and it spat the answer out. So that's just one common example. It's again just sort of this issue of too many tools in the stack, too many options, and that's one of the things that we're trying to solve too. Is that there's so many options for configuring something. Where do you even start? So SureStack, I think, helps to make that helps to solve for that. One, we're we were built by network defenders, folks like myself that have been in the field a long time. So it's built, by network defenders for network defenders. So we've done this job, continue to do this job, trying to keep attackers out, and on the flip side, doing pen testing and other things like that. So, we've tried to organize it in a way that helps make the job of security teams easier and helps to be a force multiplier. Um, it helps to try and sort of rebalance the scale between the attacker and the defender by a combination of our human expertise and standards and the power of AI. I think another item is we're really taking a holistic approach to try and make your security stack and more secure, make your security posture more secure, optimize your security stack, including external attack surface, and validating whether a particular attack would work against your specific security stack and your specific configurations. So I think those are some of the key areas for us.